Hello and welcome to another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one, High Seas, a game about I'm not sure, but that's why we're gonna read the synopsis. But before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But I'm a little bit confused because down there it says 1.0, which means it's finished. And it also says that it's gonna have a Patreon page soon. So, I'm not sure. I guess it's finished. So, the synopsis. This is an NSFW game with explicit sexual content. Must be 18 years old to play. After being shipwrecked and stranded on a desert island, you're rescued by a ship of pirates. The bad news is, you've become their hostage. But the good news is, they don't plan on harming you. For now. Since there is still a couple of weeks before the ship arrives at the next port, you're pretty much stuck with this rowdy band of buccaneers until then. How will you make the best of your situation? In high seas, you are a male human who goes on an adventure around the fantasy world with a pirate crew full of furries and scalies, with the possibility of romancing the men. Some will easily warm up to you, but others will take time. After all, you aren't part of the crew. Or are you? Alright? I don't know. That possibility is up to the choices you make. So, oh right, if you want me to play this game, tell me, and I'll give it a point to it, which will make it, happen sooner. Now, sooner is kind of a thing because there's so many furry visual novels. I think even though I have like 6 slots for them, I might die before, I get through all of them. Or YouTube might not be around anymore. So there's just so many. Anyways, let's reset my face. And, reset my face. Sometimes it's a bit weird with it. Good enough. Start. Yes, we are an adult. It is kind of weird, like, in about a bit less than a month and a year, a year and a month, I'm going to be old enough to have sex with somebody half my age and it be legal, and that's just uncomfortable. I am old, though I'm fit as somebody half my age. Anyways, I seized Chapter 1 out of the full wool. It burned. Oh god, sunburn. Ew. The hellish ball of flame, which had been the only thing in my life these past few weeks, continued to make my skin crackle and peel off. I shifted my tattered shirt around to try to find a relatively unburnt scraps of skin on my person, but the shifting only irritated my skin further. The salt in the air entered my open wounds, and it was like they were being infected all over again. I walked over to the rock, as it is the only large boulder on this deserted island, and looked at the familiar tally markers. It had been somewhere around 50 or 60 days since I got here. Now for the first time, I regretted that depressive bout I had around day 20, where I lost track of the time and tried my best to die, without actually committing to the act, of course. I was too much of a coward. Of course, it didn't matter anymore, since it was most likely too late for me to back out of dying. Regardless, I went over to the puddle on top of the rock. I had covered it with a tarp that had washed ashore to try and stimmy the sun's relentless heat on my only source of water. Oh yeah. I carried out these useless acts of pulling up the tarp to look at the emptiness beneath. I knew it would be dry, but I'd hoped against hope. That was it then. According to my poorly maintained calculations, today was my 3rd day without water. I would surely die today, then. I was already feeling woozy, struggling to keep myself upright. I looked all around this tiny spit of sand. I hesitated to even call an island, and saw nothing as usual. I could only retreat to my tiny makeshift shelter, made from wooden planks that had also washed ashore, reminders of my greatest mistake. I stared at the horizon hopelessly. The dolphins were active today. I could see their fins and the flowing sprays of water. Sorry to make this diatribe, but I've read 2 books recently about shipwrecks. They suck. I mean, of course they suck, but it's also kind of like weird how long people can survive shipwreck. Because it would be like, yeah, it's me and 20 or 40 or more people stuck on this small island. There's nothing on the island, just mostly rocks and stuff like that. But they somehow survive. With nothing left to do before my demise, I collapsed. Then, I turned my head to fixate on those sprays. They're forming light mist over the water surface. I could even see a small rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And brown, of course. The other colors faded, but brown remained. When the dolphin's fins had poked out of the water, and it kept growing and growing. How odd. A brown dolphin. With a bit of white on top, I giggled deliriously. I turned my head towards the inferno in the sky and tried to hang on to the last moments of existence I would ever know. So, this is what dying's like, huh? How mundane. I was expecting to see my life flash before my eyes. Instead, the last thing I saw just looped over and over in my consciousness. Wait. I sat bolt upright, causing my skin to crack and bleed yet again. Brown and white? I moved my head around and tried to focus on the anomaly. A ship? A ship! I could see it very well, since my glasses had broken on day 5, yet it was unmistakable. Was that my salvation after all? Mustering the last of my strength, I stood up and frantically wove to the incoming ship. I tried to yell help, but had forgotten how to use my voice. Only a rasping groan left me. The ship wasn't getting any closer, though. It continued to stand and wave for God knows how long, but it appeared the ship had veered to the east, probably to avoid the large sandbar that ran up where I called home. I tried to identify the ship with whatever little reason I could muster in my parched skull, and saw it was waving a black flag. Pirates, of course. They had no reason to save me. Oh, so this guy must have pretty decent eyesight, though, because my eyesight's just terrible. I started to cry, yet the tears would not come. I jumped, and with every time I landed on the ground, I could feel my life fading. One last resort, then. I dug around in my cache, hidden under the rock. Under the rock. Among the last remaining possessions, I found an article of clothing. This was not any article of clothing, however. It was none other than a cloak, gifted to me by the very king himself, though a friend of the Duke, who knew the Earl, who had heard of my birthday. It was natural purple, the royal color, and had gold embroidery stitched all over it. It shone brightly in the sun, enough to burn my eyes. I took it out of the hole, thankful that the sun didn't corrupt the last remaining treasure, and waved it around with reckless abandon. I'd hoped that the sun would reflect off the gold and catch their attention. Sure enough, I could see the ship veer towards me and get closer and closer. Thank the gods above. I kept my attention on the black flag. I had no shouts left, no jumps left. My consciousness was fading into the tunnel. Soon, the black flag filled my entire vision, and I passed out. I didn't know how long I was unconscious. I could feel a subtle rocking motion, which could have been what woke me up. Also, this is a nice room. Like, knowing ships both past and present, this is a nice room. Is it the captain's? Or it could have been the prickly feeling I had over my body, like I was laying on hay? It certainly did not agree with my severely sunburnt skin. The mattress was clearly not suitable for someone of my status. I sleepily made notes to complain that to the staff. Sleepily. I could not but roll over to my side, try to fall asleep again. As I opened my eyes, I saw... Yo! Oh god, it's one of those things from Halo. A tall, lanky fisherman was staring at me, gleefully grinning. It took me an ashamedly long amount of time to actually register the sight. And when I did... What on earth? I leapt straight up from my bedding. I was not proud of my response. I had forgotten my manners in 50-something days in isolation, clearly. Hey, it's alright. We're not gonna hurt you. Well, maybe I can't say that about everyone, but I know for sure I don't want to. I'm Mac, and you? He held out his hand, and he had spindly fingers. Spindly? Okay. Held together by a membrane of elastic webbing. I stared at him incredulously. Well, so what is he supposed to be like? The teeth look familiar, but I can't name it. Yeah, sorry. Reading makes me yawn. I could use a cup of tea, though. He was still grinning, his mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. His kind wasn't exactly surprising to see out here in the open water, but I had never had the opportunity to meet a fisherman before. What's your name? Default name? I'm Ryan. As I gave my name, I ignored his preferred hand completely, which he took in stride. He wasn't making any sudden movements, so he took the chance to study my new surroundings. Oh, blessed shade. The evil sun was just barely out of reach, at long last. Its piercing rays fell just shy of my feet, pouring in through the square window. Also, that's a weird thing. So humans definitely can get sunburned. Animals can get sunburned too. Like, did humans just grow less like resilient to the sun because of clothes and shelter, or do animals just, shade themselves from the sun most of the time, or quite a bit of the time? I don't know. The sole window lit up the room, showing that I was surrounded by wooden walls. The rocking clued me in with the fact that I was reading on a boat. Right, that ship from earlier. Wait, you're pirates, aren't you? I saw the flag. Oh, that thing of beauty? Yep, she's our pride and joy, all right. Our motto is, we take what is ours for the taking. Captain's idea. Don't see much of a point in it, though. I mean, it's a bit of redundant, isn't it? But that's probably just me being a dumb fuck. Our captain sure knows what he's doing, though. That's for sure. So, yeah, you sure could call us pirates. Or privateers, maybe. Swashbucklers? Buccaneers? I never understood what any of those meant, to be honest. Now, wait, what is a privateer? Maybe privateers like, define privateers. Because an armed ship owned by an officer... Owned and officered by pirates... I can read! An armed ship owned and officered by private individuals holding a government commission and authorized to use in war, especially to capture... And yeah, so it's kind of piratey, but also not piratey. It's legal piracy. I think swashbucklers and buccaneers are the same thing, though. Let's just put in buccaneers. Sorry. Buccaneer. A pirate. Originally off the Spanish-American coasts. Okay. You said my face just in case. My eyes don't always look up. Close enough. I never understood it at all. Okay, I get it. Gods, he was a talker. Still, what did this mean? What does this mean for me? They were still planning to... Wait, they were still planning to ban me on the island, weren't they? Until they saw my cloak. Well, because, you know, ransom stuff, though I guess I knew that because I read the synopsis. I looked around the room quickly, but couldn't see it anywhere. I suppose you took my cloak when you brought me on board. Oh, that old thing? I think I saw it in the captain's room. I doubt he'd just give it to you, though. And it's better not to ask him. He's, well, scary. Sorry. God damn it. My last possession's gone. Well, it's not like I wanted to remember my past anyways. Like, before the shipwreck, or you mean the shipwreck? It's fine. Looks like I don't have much of a choice in the matter anyway. I guess you all saved me for a reason. Oh, yeah. We were shocked to see you out there by yourself. So, how'd you get there? Did you ride on a boat? Or did you fly there? He looked at me with eagerness, as if he had actually believed that that was possible. Well, I guess some gifted people in this world could, but did I really look like a mage? I took a boat. I decided that that was all he could say on the matter. The less these pirates knew about my life, the better. Wow, what kind of boat was it? Did you take a big one? Bigger than this one, even? And, what are all those all over your skin? A loud thud echoed throughout the room, and the heavy wooden door swung open suddenly and slammed against the wall. In the doorway was a dogman? That's enough yap out of ye, lad. Go on, scutter. But I want to go now, or I'll tear ye a new one tonight. Uwu? The fisherman yelped and slipped out of the doorway. Was he blushing? So, hope our swab boy didn't wear ye out. Just swab boy. It was a unique pleasure to be in his company. He stared at me for a while, not saying anything. I gave him a quick smile, but it fell like he made no reaction at all. But it fell. I'm just going to do that. I mean, it says 1.0, but it couldn't check to see if there's anything for typos. Wait. Ishia? That's my name, you fecker. Don't wear it out now. So, how are those sores of yours doing? Can't say enjoy working on human skin. So bald and gross. I took a minute to inspect my body. Sure enough, several areas on my body were covered in bandages and gauze. It smelled like herbal poutrus, perhaps? So, you're the ones who gave me the medical care? I suppose I should offer you my thanks. My name is Ryan, and... Not what I asked. I don't give a rat's arse who you or what ye are. As far as I'm concerned, you're only our product to sell. But old Cap sent me to fixing you up all nice and pretty, so answer the damn question. Shit, I suppose it was too much to hope that they had only saved me out of goodwill of their hearts. So, what, I'm a hostage now? I mean, here's the thing. They're probably not going to put you in slavery because this is too nice of a room to put somebody in that you're slave in, you know? Like, to me, this is captain's quarters-esque room-ish, you know? I feel fine. Yes, It was then that I realized my current state of affairs. I should have starved to death or died of dehydration. I had already grown frail, barely able to remain sitting, but why did I not feel thirsty? Good. You'll need more water than I expect. Been dripping some water and that nasty paste down your gullet for the past few days. But you were still out of it when we woke ye. I don't reckon you remember a thing then. Yeah, I was asking like a Let's Player 2 ago in Liar, like, okay, how do you feed people unconscious? I guess I could type that in for the older days. Can't very well ransom me off in this condition, can we? I'll send old Eddie boy your way. See if he can't set you up with proper solid food instead of that swill. Huh, So he was the one taking care of me? Well, even if his bedside manners were severely lacking, he had taken the time to care for me in the past. However many days I was out cold. Well, even if I'm to be your hostage, you still saved my life enough, even though you didn't have to. And that means a great deal to me. Thank you. Hopefully, in our, land life, we have money. It'd kind of suck if we were broke. Ah, bugger off. I was just doing me job. He said that, yet I could see him flushing a little. His tail was even wagging slightly. He noticed my looks, then he stiffened. Okay, that's enough of that. Go rest now. Eddie'll stop in with more water. Big fella. You'll know him when you see him, I expect. Wait, big fella. Try not to get eaten. He barked up some laughter, then left me alone. I managed to catch a glimpse of some other crewman peering at me curiously before the door slammed shut on me. Then there was a click from outside, confirming that I was basically their prisoner. Well, it wasn't like I even had enough strength to get up anyways. I lay down to rest, but the combination of the irritating mattress and the thin blanket I didn't manage to fall asleep before I heard a loud, repetitive thudding outside the door, like footsteps growing louder and closer. In my fragile state of mind, I thought maybe a monster had killed every last crewmate on board and was coming to gobble me up, but then the door opened gently. Aye, he's married, I can see. The largest beastman I had ever seen was on the other side. It was an alligator. Or crocodile? I'm pretty sure it's an alligator. Hi, it makes me yawn, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not getting enough oxygen. Either way, he had a huge belly, and he was bigger than me, bigger than the width of the doorway. He was glaring down at me from the other side. I quivered in my seat a little. Surely, Ishala was just joking when he warned me about not getting eaten. Excuse me, are you Ryan? His voice came out barely perceptible. I was surprised both imposing figure had such a meek tone, and that he knew my name. Yes? I assume you're Eddie. Edward, please. You talked to Ishala then? Yeah, he said you'd be visiting shortly to bring me some water. Oh, yes, I have it right here. Indeed, he was carrying a large pitcher of water in one hand, and what looked like a bowl of stew in the other. I made to get up to receive them, but he started squeezing his considerable bulk through the door. He put the pitcher and bowl down next to me, then started looking around the room. The room could barely even fit him in it. He found a chair in the corner, but it was definitely too small for him. He sighed and just sat down on the floor next to me. He looked at me, and I at him. Several moments passed before he looked away, blushing. Man, everybody's just blushy. I'll introduce myself properly. God damn it, why am I yawning so much? Maybe I need a cup of coffee. I wouldn't mind one, with cinnamon and whipped cream. Nice. It seems you already know my name. Somehow? I took the pitcher and started taking a huge, greedy gulps. I guess I was thirstier than I thought. Yeah, Ishala told me about you. Huh. Ishala had said he didn't care what my name was. Before I could ask him anything further, I started eating the bowl of stew. Whoa, this is really good. I couldn't help but shovel spoonful after spoonful in my mouth. You think so? Thanks. It's not any different from any unusual stew, though. You need to slow down, I think. He put his huge, scaly claw on my arm to get me to slow down. It was cool to the touch. I looked back up at him, and he looked away quickly. You'll throw up at that rate. Sorry, it's been a while since I had more than crabs and worms. Huh? You know, since I was stranded on the island? I had to eat all sorts of odd animals from under the rocks. Sounds yummy though. Also, are there worms on small islands? You wouldn't think so. I pulled my face at him, but he was daydreaming instead, probably wondering what they would taste like. Still, I'm glad I had better food ready for you. You still need to eat up. You're wasting away as is. He was right. I was pretty malnourished, and I was already feeling kinda weak and sleepy after I finished my bowl. That is one thing I do want to look up. Like, I kind of briefly looked it up, but like, what is that one syndrome? Like, there's basically some kind of deadly syndrome where if you've been starved and malnourished for like a long period of time, and then you eat something heavy, you could die. It's happened before, documented, and it'd be quite interesting to figure out how, like, what are you supposed to eat in that situation, you know? I'll be right back with more. He got up and squeezed out of the doorway again. Despite his size, he was actually kind of sweet. And he was the ship's cook, maybe? Well, it seemed not everyone on the ship was out to gut me. Aye, we eat pirates, but more like smugglers. So let's see, was it refeeding syndrome? Yeah, refeeding syndrome. I would like to look up a YouTube video of that, because it'd probably be a bit more better than reading, because I don't know. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, it's just kind of funny thinking of a different furry visual novel, where it's like, we're pirates. We smuggle things. Like, wait, you're pirates and you smuggle things? Yep, smuggle things. Like, that's not what a pirate is. There's a word for people that smuggle things. It's called smugglers. Yeah, I'm referencing Winds of Change. It's like, come on. Smugglers smuggle things. Pirates take things. Also reminds me of a funny thing that Dan Riker did. And sorry that I do diatribes, not diatribes, tangents of it. There's people I watch called Giant Bomb. Dan Riker is a treasure from it. And they're watching some kind of video game thing about pirates. And he asks the questions like, wait, pirates steal things? And everybody's like, what do you think pirates do? And it's just like, it's definitely one of those moments. Anyways, set face. Reset face. Yeah, whatever. Sorry that my eyes go wiggy. The door. Get me. Oh, I forgot something. Captain Blackhorn wants to see you in the morning. Sorry. I hope you survived that. He left after making that anonymous statement. Jeez, the captain sounded terrifying, considering he was the one who wanted to ransom me. It shouldn't have been too much of a surprise, yet he also chose to save me, didn't he? I laid my head on the meager pillow and let my brain come up with wild fancies as to identify the Captain Blackhorn. Each imagined image more contrived than the previous one, until I ended up dreaming up a 20-foot tall monster with tentacles for a mouth. I could hear the captain's deep and gruff voice. I didn't understand him, but I knew he wanted to devour me. He grew and grew in size, and those tentacles, they... Oi, get up already. Huh? What? I was shaken from my dreams by an irate voice. Isaiah was dragging the door against the wall and yelling at me, banging the door against the wall. Cap wants to see. Freshen up a little and try not to poke his eye out with that. Yeah? He walked out laughing, and I was confused by what he meant until I looked down. Shit. I didn't think my dreams would get that kinky. I struggled to try to remember what I was dreaming about, but the memory had already slipped out into the cracks. Thankfully, being startled awake was enough to calm it down before long. I used the bucket and the bar of soap left in the corner to dab at some of my more pungent areas. Though without the full array of scents and shampoos I was used to, I still felt gross after. Well, that was as well as I cleaned myself, so it was time to face my doom. When I left the cabin, Mac was there waiting for me. This is a nice looking place. Yo, hope you got a good night's sleep. Meh, about as well as it could have been, honestly. You? Yeah, same here. Just the usual night. So, ready to see the captain? Wait, he got some dick? It do be like that. Pornography can only prevent, sailors from banging each other for about an hour. He winked, then took off, beckoning me to follow him. I took the opportunity to look around the hallways as Matt guided me through them. The rooms were more roomy and well furnished than I was expecting. Ever since my grueling affair with loneliness, I was actually eager to hang out with anyone, even these pirates, although my fate would probably not end well in the near future. After all, I was ready to die. Anything was better than that, right? Right? I was led up to the great double doors leading to the captain's cabin, and immediately I felt an ominous aura irradiate out of the doors emanate. Maybe I should come back later? I looked around, and somehow Mac had swiftly vacated the premises already. I gulped and knocked on the doors. Immediately, a deep, gruff voice greeted me. Come in. I opened the doors inward and found myself in an opulent cabin at the head of the ship. Head of the ship? But the captain's is always at the back. The head is where you poop. At the desk was presumably the captain himself. He was a dragon. That's rare. I had never seen one before now, even with my background. Please sit. We have much to discuss. I nervously took the seat he offered me. What would he do to me? Could he breathe fire? I better not make him mad. So, tell me about yourself. Huh? My name is Ryan, and I was shipwrecked on that ice. I know. I was able to gather that much from my men. No, tell me why you're here, and where you came from. Shit, how much should I tell him? Even though this man never raised his voice, I could tell he was extremely dangerous. My boat got wrecked in the storm. I was on the island for maybe 50 days before you found me, which I do have to thank you for, by the way. I don't know if I'd had what I've done if... Stop. A boat, you say? What size? Is there a wreckage? It's a small sloop, hardly more than a rowboat, really, and managed to rescue some scraps when they washed ashore, but they're gone now. I had some possessions of my own on the island, but, well, I assume they're yours now. Okay, for some reason it's not going forward. I have to click here. And you'd be correct to assume so, knowing what we are. Where's your hometown? Ridgemore Harbor. Sir? He took a good long look at me with his draconic eyes. I was able to look back at him and study him. His face and his broad, open chest were covered in scars. I wondered how he got those wounds. I shifted restlessly under his piercing gaze. Finally, he spoke up in a voice that was sterner, but not louder than before. You're lying. Shit, he found out. I really didn't want to expose my hometown to these brutes. But did I have much of a choice? Sure, I could die instead of spilling the beans. But I was a coward. Yet he didn't seem too angry. Instead he sighed and leaned back in his chair. No matter. I understand you have your reasons for not sharing everything with people like us. It only makes sense that you try and save your people. To save your people. No, that wasn't it. It wasn't much that I was trying to save my people. It would have been heroic of me. Instead, I just really did not want to go back there. You do understand your predicament though, yes? We did not rescue out of charity. I nodded. I'd suspected as much from the minute the cloak caught their attention. I plan to ransom you to whatever rich family you've come from, or whoever would be willing to buy you back. And don't even pretend like you're not rich. You're practically oozing with opulence. He gave me a sneer of disgust as he said that last part. Yeah, I don't think you're lying about the sloop. Rather meager for someone of your status, isn't it? So, a runaway then? Is that it? Yeah, family issues, I guess you could say. I doubt they'd want to buy me back, truthfully. He stared at me once again, trying to read me with his uncanny lie detecting skills. Yet, since what I said was a fuzzy statement based on my personal opinions, there was nothing to read there. We shall see. Either way, you're worth more to me healthy. I trust my men have been taking care of you? Yeah, well, I haven't quite gotten the opportunity to. Good. I commanded that you be fed and taken care of, so I'd hope they weren't derelict in their duty. That was getting a little annoying, the way he interrupted me often, like I wasn't worth listening to. The fear was making its way into indignance. Yeah, that's one thing I really hate when people interrupt. As I was saying, I haven't had a chance to bathe or clean myself, so hoping that my presence did not offend you. Is that so? Surprisingly, he stood up from his seat and walked over to me. Then he started sniffing me all over. I bristled at the breach of personal space, but held still. Humans don't usually smell like much of our kind. Regardless, you may use the bathroom once I'm done with you. Right, by your kind, do you mean beastmen or I mean pirates. Granted, it's rare for humans like you to join our ranks, so I suppose I may as well mean beastmen in general. Was it just me, or did he become defensive when I brought up his race? I got the feeling it wouldn't do to pry, but it couldn't hurt to learn more about my captor while I was stuck here. Seriously? Speaking of which, he was still standing uncomfortably close. I tried not to let my eyes wander down since it was now at eye level with me. I remember my dream. God damn it, not the time. Thankfully, he turned around without a further word, his large draconic tail nearly toppling my chair. Then he sat down across the desk. You'll be our captive for the next few weeks, until I can find someone to buy a ransom. I believe in getting things done slowly but efficiently. Make no mistake, I will get you to spill your hometown eventually, but for now, you're dismissed. Please tell the others that your door is no longer to be locked, and that you have free roam of the ship. It's weird that such a nice room had a locked door on it from the outside, you know? Now, that was surprising. I guess it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been, actually. What else was it gonna do? Swim away? Resumed writing on the parchment from before, which seemed to be some kind of accounting work, since there was plenty of numbers. How quaint. With nothing else to say, I turned around and left. Sure enough, Mac was there again. So, how did it go? Well enough, I'd say. It seems I have free roam of the ship, at least until we get to wherever I'm supposed to be sold. Oh, good. Well, not... I was gonna do a bunch of reading today, but all of a sudden it's like, this is my second visual enough I'm doing it, and I'm like, eh. Well, not on the whole being sold thing, but it's good that we don't have to lock you in anymore. And all of a sudden I get the hiccups. Let's see if putting the light on helps. Yeah, a little bit, maybe. Yeah, small comforts, I guess. Man, I really thought you'd end up like the last guy. Wait, What happened? Oh, nothing. Just forget about it, alright? The point is, you can chat with us for a while. Yeah? Let me show you around. Actually, I probably should wash up. Captain said I need to find the bathroom. Oh, okay, no problem. I'll lead you there. Went down several flights of stairs until we ended up in a dark room near the bottom. The head? Thankfully, this is a fucking nice pirate ship. Thankfully, no one else was using the room at the time. It allowed me the chance to look around freely. It was surprisingly roomy, outfitted with several buckets. I looked into some of them. Oh, be careful with those. Those are for bathing, and others are for, well, let's just say you don't want to confuse the two. Here, maybe I should show you how it works around here. I did feel comfortable with being naked around them, though. Oh, wait, did I feel... I swear I can read. Is that fast again? Did I feel comfortable with being naked around him? He seemed nice, but we were literally just met. Well, I suppose I didn't have much of a choice if I wanted to untie my bandages. And do it. Alright, you can join me. I might need some help taking off these clothes, though. Can do. I'll be real careful then. Since my bandages were making it difficult to move around, I had to have Mac take off my simple shirt and then my pants. Surprisingly, Mac could turn around, suddenly bashful. I nearly forgot, you aren't a pirate. I'll just leave you to it. What's the problem? I might need help with my underwear too. You sure? If you don't mind, you could even come and bathe me. I won't bite. Oh, okay. It's censored. Where's his willy? He got off his clothes with a practiced ease, almost as if he had done so on someone's command many times before. Huh, there wasn't anything down there. I mean, it is weird. Well, I should have expected that. Just like a fish. Don't know why I looked, really. Or why I was still looking. Okay, why is it like that anyways? Is there like some kind of preference thing? Oh, maybe it's that. I mean, sure, if it's off, then that saves me having to do a thing. There, you good? See something you like? I quickly averted my gaze. Shit, I shouldn't offend these pirates. Terribly sorry. I've never seen a fishman. Especially not, all over. No worries. You can look all you want, honestly. If you're comfortable with that, of course. Can we just get on with it? I was now blushing furiously. Thankfully, he went up to me and easily took off the bandages around my back. I could hear him wince. Does human skin do this a lot? Only if you're stuck in the sun for 50 days. Ah, shit. Yeah, that'd do it. I know for sure. I'd fry before then. I try not to imagine fish sticks. Meg proceedingly took a sponge and gently dabbed me all over. When he got to my sores, I winced as he stopped. Shit, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Relax. Of course it hurts, but I need this. Please keep going. He stammered and blustered for a bit more, then kept going. Actually, this felt quite nice. I let myself melt into his touch for a bit. Ooh. I could feel his scaled hands on my skin. When he got to some more sensitive areas of my body, it prompted a primal response from my nether regions. Fuck. I was so touch-starved. I didn't expect to feel this way from pirates, let alone a fishman. Well, that's good enough. Thank you very much. I'd like to be alone now. Alright, just let me say something real quick. I tried to move my torso away from him to hide my little problem, then I nodded. You don't have to be embarrassed in front of me. The crew, we're like one big family. We've seen each other naked many times. and even had similar accidents here and there. And sometimes it's not an accident. He's horny. I turned my head around to meet his gaze. He winked. In fact, maybe I could be of serve. Please, just leave me alone. His face fell. He tried to stammer out an apology, but finally, he averted his gaze and left me. Shit, after sitting around and letting myself air dry, I started to realize what I did. I forgot my manners yet again. I really hoped this wouldn't bite me in the ass later on. I mean, I didn't mind the company of men. It was my greatest shame to bear. One of the many reasons I left my hometown. But all the same, I couldn't change my ways. And he was cute. He had tried the best to accommodate me and make me feel safe and comfortable, even if he was a bit too friendly. At least he tried. I groaned loudly. I definitely have to apologize to him later, and maybe establish some boundaries. Not that I'd say no to some more attention. I cleaned up after myself, awkwardly putting my bandages back on, and made my way towards my room. Are we on time? 46, it might be another scene or two. Let's just see, are there any other characters? In this picture scene, it just seems like it's the 4 characters we've seen. I lay down on the bed for a while, taking the time to think about my new cohorts. After a while of relentless pondering, in which thankfully nobody came to lock me in, or whatever, I decided I was bored enough to get up and explore the ship, even if I was a little wary of the crew. Okay, I guess this is the thing where they go, hey, which one do you want to seduce or get a point in? And while we're at the 46-minute mark, I think that's a good time to call it. Because, we got 15, which, don't know how long these scenes are. And I think I might need a little bit of break from staring at the screen. Maybe that's the reason why I suck at reading sometimes. Like, I read books. Like, when I go to sea and stuff like that. And I read visual novels when I'm not at sea. You'd think I'd be able to read visual novels, well, out loud. Well, that's going to be the end of this quick look. So, please comment, cause like, comment, if you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like Seeker, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to grow, and please remember to spay near and myself, control the pit population. And if you want me to play this game, tell me, and I'll put it up higher on the list, which will, means I'll read it sooner. And I might read it like, some of these things, I should really figure out how much time they are, because, like, Before You Depart, that was, like, 2 hours. That's good for side plays, I should ask around. But, yeah. If you want to play this game yourself, it's available for free on itch.io. Also, let's see what next week's visual novel's gonna be. Let's see. Okay. All these minus high seas and Doherty quick looked, which means we got 18. Random number generator, give us 99, so that we can make it, what was it, 18? Survey says 6. What is 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No way home. Good name, good knock. Well, let's turn that off, minimize this so it doesn't actually pick Steam, and then open No Way Home. Good name, good knock. See what it be. Which I think the synopsis is you're no. Let's see, does it take it? Hey, there we go. Are we in the outback? Hey, danger, doing all that stuff. Even though these things kind of look like Arizona or whatever. Going to Bluey Land. So, I think that's everything. Until next time, another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of some other game. Maybe in this one. So thanks and see ya.